Welcome to Coffee and Conversation. I've got mine, you got yours? I'm going to do today's sitting on my lovely patio, looking out at all the beautiful greenery and the flowers and even the bees flying around doing their thing, as long as they leave me alone, like this little guy right here. Well, that's something you do got to deal with when you live outside. So everybody keeps asking me, okay, when I plan my backyard, how do I plan it? What do I do? And you've got to plan around a lot of things. What is your space? What do you have readily available to where you're not going to overspend? I always say look at different things. I look at Temu, I look at AliExpress, I compare, I look online before I ever go to the grocery store. And if I know I can find what I like a lot cheaper, I'm going to order it, even if it means I have to wait 3-4 weeks. It is so worth it. That way you have time to plan the rest and get it all ready while you're waiting. Your space needs to become your space. My space has my chairs, my table, a little side table, all my plants, so that way I can enjoy what I'm doing here in all this space. And I can just look out and relax even when I have this wasp who won't leave me alone because it's a butthead flying around. I really like to just relax. Like today I have to do my to-do list. I'm sitting out here with my to-do list and everything else sitting in front of me, enjoying my coffee and my breakfast, and I am just taking it in. It's something you need to do. You also got to look at how far away, if you want a fire pit, how far away from the house it has to be, how far away from structures does it have to be, because there are all those fire codes and everything else. You want to look at where you can get water. So if you want a big garden, make sure you can get water to it without excessive things. In my city, if you have a garden, they'll actually put a separate meter on for the garden and charge you less for that water that goes to your garden, which is really awesome. It's $100 to have it installed, but it's worth it. I did it and I love it, even though this year we're kind of getting rained out a lot, so I'm not having to worry about watering my garden too much. My vegetables are loving it too, as much as my flowers are. I'm not loving it because water everywhere, and I did have water in my basement once because we literally had so many storms, everywhere was flooding, like with everything that happened in Mankato. Also, in your outdoor area, are you going to want a pool? Can you have a pool? Like, are there restrictions? Do you have to have it fenced? If you're on a trampoline, make sure there's not certain things you need to do for the trampoline. Some trampolines, especially in my area, you need to put like heavy cement blocks or bricks on it, on the base, to keep it from flying away. Mine, right before they had that little thing in the code, mine went through the air like a bad pancake because it was a huge windstorm about 2 years after I had it. And next thing I know, it's up in the air and it's doing this and it's going straight over my fence and literally took my chain link fence, and now my chain link fence has a dip in it because of that trampoline. You also gotta look at where you can have your fire pits, like I said, where you can have your grills. If you want, and on the patio, like the little fire, the stationary fire, it's kind of like a fire pit, but it's not. You gotta look if you can have those there. You also need to make sure that the plants you have aren't just gonna take over your yard and take over all the gardens. I did that and it happened and it was a pain in the butt to get fixed. So make sure you have the right ones. And do you want edible plants in your house, in your garden? I like having blackberries and raspberries and blueberries, and I have boysenberries and everything all over my gardens. I have 2 large trees that are berry trees. I have crab apples, apple trees. I have a lot of edible things throughout my gardens, and that way my grandkids love it because they're getting all these fresh fruits. We have a strawberry bush. My grandson and I decided this year that we're going to try and plant a strawberry bush. We started it inside, we planted it outside, and now it's huge. So you got to look at also what grows in your area. Take some of your pots that have plants in them, turn them into little herb gardens. I did that. A couple of my pots have like 3 different herbs in it, like dill and chives and bay leaves, something like that. You want those kind of things around your house. And then like lemongrass, I didn't plant any this year, and if for some reason it's gone, I don't know where my pots went, they both disappeared. But that's the reason I have like these little flyers around here, like the wasps and the mosquitoes and stuff, and I've got to get more lemongrass to plant because that actually repels all of them. So like I said, look at what you want your garden to do. Do you want a place to relax? Do you want a place to grill out? Do you want to have hot dogs over the open fire or roast marshmallows with the kids? You can have that happen. You can have a patio as well as an area for the fire pit. It really does work well, and you can make them really work for you. Don't let anybody tell you what they think, because this is your space for you to be happy. With that being said, this is Shanda Kim, Grand Bay's Real Estate Services with National Realty Guild. You have an amazing day.